What's up, graphic designers? In this video tutorial, we're going to learn how to download and install fonts, use layer styles, and create some cool text effects. For example, here we're going to have something called a stroke, which is basically an outline. We see this pink outline around the white text along with a drop shadow. And we're also going to learn how to do an inner glow as we have here in the title of this book, The Last Shadow Warrior. All right, but before we learn how to do layer styles, what we're going to do is learn how to download and install fonts. So what we're going to do is go to my favorite website, dafont.com. And you'll notice when you arrive there, this page is the recently added fonts. But what we're going to do is we're going to left click top. These are the most popular fonts on dafont.com. And what I also know, if I scroll down a tad, we can see lots of fun options. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump to the top and I'm going to change it from 25 to 200. And then we're going to preview some text by writing it here. And I'm going to write, patience is rule number 1. And let's take a look at what it looks like for the Bergstena script. Okay. I notice that the second, third, and fourth fonts all have numbers, specifically like numerical characters. I can see the one in it. However, some fonts don't have numerical characters in like the typeset. And Bergstena script is one of those. But what we're going to do is we're going to scroll through until we can find one that resonates with us or that would work well with a particular project. Or like theme or vibe that we're going for and whatever our project is. And so we've only seen 25 so far. We've got 200 on a page. So many options. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not lying when sometimes I'll tell you I'll spend 15, 20, 30 minutes cruising, looking for a font that makes sense. And I'm going to roll with right now, so many options. Even right now, it's like paralysis of choice. Malvides, I don't really know if that's how you pronounce it, but I do know that it's font number 11. All right, so I want this particular font, so I'm going to draw my attention to the right side of the screen where it says download. I'm going to left click it once, and then I can see a little downloads folder is bopping, it's jumping up and down. When I left click, I can see it says there's that font name, malvides.zip. It's a zip folder, so we're going to unzip it, which we just did. And now we've got a number of options. The first option is a JPEG, and this is just what it looks like. We don't really ever need to click that. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to click the OTF file or the TTF file. And when I double click, a window is going to pop open. And it's a font preview. And it's going to ask us, it's validating. And it wants us to install. Yeah, let's click install in blue. And then presumably, it just installed. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click File, New. And we're going to go to Print, Letter, Create. And I'm going to press T for Type. And I'm going to type in Photoshop is so much fun. It's fun for you. It's fun for me. I just love it. I'm going to press check to confirm, Command T to increase the size. We're going to have something that looks a little bit like this. Tremendous. And so now what I'm going to do, I'll notice that if we click this font drop down menu, we've got lots of options to choose from. And we can simply scroll. So for example, here is Autumn Romans Regular. You guys notice what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight all that text. I'm going to click it once. And now I'm going to delete and press MALV. MALV. And presumably it should come up, and it does. And so here it is, and I'm going to click enter. And this is a nice, fun little script font. We're going to talk a lot about font pairings and font juxtaposition throughout the course of this year. And this is super cool. All right. I said a moment ago that today we're going to be learning how to employ some layer styles, specifically stroke, which is an outline, inner glow, and a drop shadow. All right. So this is how it works. I'll zoom out just a tad. I'm going to click the effects button in the lower right hand corner of the layers palette where it says add a layer style. That's cool. And when I left click it, we've got a few different options. The first one I'm going to do is stroke, and I'm going to change it from white because white on white is not visible, right? But I'm going to we'll make it red. Why not? And I can see that the position right now is outside. We could have it on the center of the text or in the inside of the text. And inside looks kind of weird, right? I think outside looks cool. What I also know in this layer styles window is that we can increase the size. This looks stupid. This is not like apparent enough in my opinion. And so I really like 5 pixels in this context. And if we wanted to change the color, we could click that little red square. We could change it to blue, green. So many options. This looks cool. I'm going to press OK and then OK. And this looks amazing. I love it. Here is what I'm doing right now. I'm going to go down to the background layer, and I'm going to create a new layer. Alternatively, you can simply press Command Shift N, and I know that you know that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click and I'm going to drag stroke, that layer style we just added. I'm going to drag it to the garbage can, and we're going to start fresh. So I'm going to click to add another kind of layer style. I'm going to click effects or that layer styles button. And what we're going to do is we're going to do an inner glow. You know what? I'm a liar. Before we do an inner glow, check this out. I'm going to get a dark color so we have a little bit of contrast. And I'm going to get this deep blue. I'm going to press OK, paint bucket, and I'm on that new layer underneath. This looks good. All right, so I'm going to press Command plus to zoom in. I'm going to return to that text layer. I'm going to click effects. We're going to go to inner glow, which is right here. This is cool. And I'm going to boost the opacity to 100%. I talked to Sophia about that. We're not going to really talk about it a whole lot. We're going to want to make sure the inner glow is normal. The opacity is up to 100%. And then what we can do is we can adjust the size. Whoa, that looks cool. That looks amazing. I'm going to press OK to confirm. And I really like that. What I'm going to do now, oh, you know what? There's so many things I want to. I'm going to get rid of the background for just a moment. And when we click effects, drop shadow is at the very bottom. It's underneath outer glow. And when we add a drop shadow, that's cool. We've got lots of options. You can click and drag on the canvas to shift this shadow around. That looks cool. We can adjust the opacity, which is the degree to which you can see through something. We can change the size. You guys, there's so many different ways we can explore playing with this effect of drop shadow. I'm going to press OK to confirm. That looks cool. So we just learned stroke. We learned inner glow. We learned how to add a drop shadow. So this is what we're doing today. We're going to be reimagining this text, this title, along with this one in this little kind of template I created for you. So for example, when I draw your attention to the right side of the screen, you'll notice that we've got inner glow and elements and quality. So what you're going to do is kind of recreate this effect using these options with the layer style menu. Likewise over here, I'm going to press Command 0. That fills the screen. This is where you're going to write your text. You're going to save it as a JPEG. We're going to be adding a stroke outline, stroke, which is like an outline, and a drop shadow. For stroke, you're going to use this information, this data right here, right? And where it says drop shadow, you're going to use this information. So the distance, for example, is going to be 61 pixels. Last but not least, to apply a slant, right, to skew it, we're going to click Edit Transform Skew. So let's do this right now. Super duper quickly. So here is what I know. We're going to want to recreate this text, kind of like making lunch turkey sandwiches. That's what I was thinking a second ago. And so here is what I know. I'm going to use the type tool. I'm going to click and I'm going to write, instead of making friends, I'm going to write making buckets. These guys are playing basketball. Why not? I'm going to press check to confirm. I'm going to change the font from this dark auburn maroon color to white. I'm going to press Command T to increase the size so it looks a little something like this. This looks great. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to click Edit, Transform, Skew. That's cool. And then we're going to put it up at an angle so it looks a little bit like this. This looks great. I'm going to press check to confirm. And then I know that we need to add a stroke. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to click the effects. We're going to click stroke. And then we're going to make this not yellow, but this pink right here. I'm going to press OK. And then I'm looking on the right side. The size should be around, you're going to eyeball it, but maybe around 13 pixels. And now it more or less has that same effect as the original. We also need to add that drop shadow. I'm going to let you experiment and try to figure out how to add that drop shadow, how to add that inner glow. And here's how you're going to download that template. In the assignment where it says stroke and drop shadow, we're going to open it up. I'm going to take a look at it right now. It's going to look a little something like this. When we left click, you're going to see it's right here. What we're going to do is simply click the three little vertical dots. We're going to open in a new tab. And then what we're going to do is click those three vertical dots again where it says more actions. And here we're going to download. And once we download it, we're going to go to Photoshop. And we're going to click File, Open, and then I can see in the downloads folder. It's right here. We're going to press check to confirm, and there we go. There we can start experimenting with different fonts, text, layer styles. Good luck.